Hey trackies, welcome back to another video here on TXT Track Time. Please remember to like the video and also subscribe to the channel. So we are talking about the semifinals for the under 20 girls 100 meters. Now, unlike in other championships where you're used to seeing the heat on the first day and then the semifinal and final on the following day, not here at the under 20 championships. We see the heats and the semis on the first day, and then on the following day we will get the final. So tomorrow, the 28th, is when you will see the under 20 100-meter finals for both girls and boys. That being said, let's jump into the under 20 100 meters for the girls, where we had our only representative here, Alana Reid, line up now. She's the only one because unfortunately Tiana Lee Terry Long did not make it through from the heat to the semifinal round. Now, Alana Reid came up in heat 2 and she took her heat running at 11.44 seconds. Now, personally, for me, when I took a look at what happened in the heat versus in the semifinal here, I honestly don't believe much change from an Alana Reid perspective. Now, yes, she did run in a negative wind here, but I don't believe much change. She didn't look to me as though she got out of gear one, potentially here. So given what she's done so far this season and 11:09, and the fact that as well she's coming off running the first leg for Jamaica and the 4x1, my assumption is that she's still in great shape. So I'm expecting her to turn things up a notch in the finals, and I'm expecting her to go away with the win. I don't see her losing this race unless the ground starts to crack in her lane, and unfortunately an earthquake happens and she doesn't execute her best race. Given what I saw, her immediate disconnect from the field in that first 30, as long as she does that here and then continues that momentum through to the line, for me personally, that's an easy win for Alana Reid. The times though are not given. I don't think these are the best conditions. I heard them earlier talking on the stream that it was pretty cold. There are cool, not ideal conditions for sprinting. Plus, for the most part, athletes have been running in negative winds as well, so there's that factor as well. So for Alana Reid, she qualifies. This is the second fastest time heading into the finals, so I will say that, right? Well, actually not the second fastest because two athletes tied dead heat with their time, and I'm going to get into that. But that being said, second fastest time, but third fastest athlete, let's put it that way, right? Heading into the finals. So I'm expecting a win from Alana Reid, given the fact that I did think she had much more in the tank. Now, when it comes to athletes that could potentially challenge, let's take a look at what happened in Heat 1, where we had Kishonna Niles from Barbados and Nia Wedderburn from Great Britain clock 11.39 dead heat. Actually, they were tied down to the thousands. I'm not sure why they separated them here. First and second, this is wild to me because it should say 1-1. But anyway, I don't know who is here working, but I just realized that when it comes to the under 20 championships as well, just from a commentary perspective, it seems as though the people don't even have information as well. So that being said, I was even hearing them having to restart one of the events for, I believe, the heptathlon. I think it's a shot put. They were measuring the distances wrong, so they have to restart the whole thing. I'm like, okay, what's going on here? So with that being said, I don't know why these times are 1-1, not 1-1, but I saw, Nia looked good. Kishonna Niles looked good. Kishonna Niles got a really good start as well. And Nia Wedderburn came back towards the end of the race. Eventually, both of them, tying in this race. I still don't think, these athletes will be able to challenge Alana Reid if she does what I'm thinking she's capable of doing. That being said, I think these two athletes are the next best thing for me in terms of getting medals, right? So I think, medals could potentially come from a Kishonna Niles and also a Nia Wedderburn Goodison, right? Now, in Heat 3, this is where we also saw Adeja Hodge line up. Now, for me personally, Adeja hasn't been looking the same Adeja Hodge that walked away with Karifta triple, a few years ago. So I'm not really sure. She looks like she's fighting herself. That being said, she qualified with second in her race with an 11.59. I don't see her challenging for a medal, unfortunately, in this particular race. No, the German athlete Kadiri took the win, 11.52. Yeah, given how these athletes looked like they were going all out, to me, I still don't see them, again, running or defeating some of the other ones that I pointed out, prior. That being said, it's a finals, right? And people tend to tense up in finals and don't execute their best race. So if athletes don't run their best race, then yes, certainly you will find where athletes come on the outside and snip them for a better performance. So I won't really talk to that because you can't really see those things. I'm just speaking to what the form looks like, or the form book looks like heading into the finals. So that's what I'm thinking here. Track is jumping on over to the boys under 20 100 meters, where things were as interesting as I thought they would be. Remember all those names I reeled off in the heats? Well, at Bunsun from Thailand, because I don't know why I missed him the first go round, because I was watching him in that race and I'm like, that Thailand athlete is also gonna figure as well. But look here, that boys under 20 100-meter final is definitely going to be something to see, and then some. So let's get into what exactly happened here for this men's semifinal. First up was the Jamaican DeAndre Daly in semifinal heat number 1. Now, he took this running a time of 10.34 seconds, and for me personally, watching this race, I did think when I was watching him from the heats that he looked absolutely amazing. And I was saying, even if I minus, the technique that I did see from a Gary Card, I'm not gonna lie, DeAndre Daly looks actually really, really good, right? And he turned up here and he definitely executed a great race, got a better start, wasn't tripping like he did, in the heats, and also shut it down, you know what I mean? So there's definitely more to come from a DeAndre Daly, and I'm excited to see what this will materialize to or become at the end of the day, because it's only 3 medals that are on offer. But there will be a bunch of young guys that will also be standing in his way. So let's jump on over to semifinal heat number 2, where I thought, you know what, things in this particular race seem to be a semifinal of death, because quite a few of the 10-0 guys were literally in the same race. Now, as it relates to the times that these athletes are running, I don't know if it's because it's cold, I don't know what's going on, I don't know if it's a negative wind, because some of them did get a positive wind, but I don't know what's going on. But the times ain't giving what we were probably thinking we would get, especially given some of the personal best coming in that were done this season. That being said, Bunsun took this race 10.30, and then from South Africa, Bradley took second, same 10.30, however, this time separated by the thousandth of a second. Now, Gary Card was third in his race, so he was literally living on the edge with that 10.39. What happened with Gary Card? I thought he had, a really good race. He was just unable to reel the other athletes back in. When I looked at the front view, it didn't look like he was giving the same amount of effort that the other athletes were getting. No, don't get me wrong. You can look relaxed and still are giving your full effort, but for him personally, if he wants to figure into things, he's definitely going to have to step things up a notch, pull out his best performance, because athletes like Bunsun and the South African Bradley are also going to be figuring. And again, these are names that I tossed out to you in the heat. So I was definitely interested to see what would happen in the third semifinal, because again, some more athletes that I was looking forward to seeing will line up there. And again, check is great performances there. So the South African was Walaza was took that win 10.33 after not such a great start. The Harbour technique might have add, but he forced his way through and took that qualification or automatic qualification through. Teddy Nelson, same GB guy that I was talking about, that looked like he was running his best race each round, did the same thing again here and automatically qualified. Xinjiang He, not his best race, but still qualified luckily, as well as our Jamaican Gary Card. So these two athletes took the 2 non-automatic times or slots, with his 10.36 and Gary Card's 10.39. Now, what's interesting is that I can't really split a difference right now based on what I saw in the semi to say who is potentially going to take a medal, other than to say I believe that DeAndre Daly, given the fact that he was able to shut it down, looks like he has much more than everybody else. But guess what? It's a finals. As I said, people will not execute their best race, or some people will execute their best race ever, right? So you never really can tell. But as things stand right now, DeAndre Daly is looking the better. I would say of all the athletes, even though his time is not, the fastest, but I do think his performance is definitely the better. As a matter of fact, just go scrolling back through these particular performances, and I realized that he ran in a negative 0.9 meters per second wind, while everybody else had like -2 and -6. So he faced the most headwind as well, right? And as I said, looked the easiest. So if there's a Jamaican that's going to get into this kind of shakeup, it's looking like it's going to be DeAndre Daly. Though it's not impossible for Gary Card. He just has to run, you know what I mean? Definitely put in that maximum effort, and I think he will definitely be able to get there, because given what I saw the athletes doing that were ahead of him, I don't think it was impossible for him to reel them in. You know what I mean? But those are just my thoughts. Trackies, now let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. So the under 20 females and men's final comes up tomorrow. What are your thoughts? How do the Jamaicans look, or whoever you're carrying, how do those athletes look? Let me know your thoughts. Like the video, of course, and subscribe to the channel. I'll catch you all in the next one. Bye.